All right, let's just jump right into this explainer, because today we're confronting a deeply uncomfortable but entirely necessary truth. We're talking about taking absolute 100% ownership of your life. We spend so much of our time looking outward, right? Looking for solutions, a lucky break, or just waiting for someone to step in and fix things for us. Well, today we're looking closely at a text that strips away all of those comforts and basically forces us to look in the mirror. It's a short, incredibly powerful manifesto about personal responsibility. Nobody is coming to save you. I really want you to take a second and just let the sheer weight of that reality check sink in. It's a pretty jarring statement, isn't it? I mean, we all grow up on these stories of heroes and sudden rescues, but the source material we're unpacking today, it cuts right through all that. It demands that we wake up from this daydream that some external force is going to suddenly sweep in and put all the pieces of our lives exactly where we want them to be. Now, what's really interesting here is how the source material actually demands repetition. It literally says, read that again. And why do you think that is? Well, it's because it knows human nature. Our brains are hardwired to deflect this kind of absolute responsibility. We read it once and we kind of brush it off thinking, yeah, sure, I know that, while secretly hoping for a savior anyway. Reading it again forces you to accept that external salvation is a complete illusion. You are literally the only variable that matters in the equation of your life. Section 1. The harsh reality. Accepting the truth. Let's break down exactly who we usually wait for and permanently cross them off the list of potential rescuers. First up, not your friends. And look, friends are fantastic for support, for a listening ear, and companionship for sure. But here's the thing. They have their own laundry to do, their own bills to pay, and their own mountains to climb. They can cheer you on from the sidelines all day long, but they absolutely cannot run the miles for you. And it's not your family either. Even those closest to you, the people who love you unconditionally, they cannot hand you the life you want. They might give you a solid foundation, which is great, but they cannot build the house for you. Relying on your family to fix your career, your mindset, or your personal discipline, that's just a fundamental misunderstanding of where true, lasting change comes from. It has to come from within. Which brings us to the final illusion we have to completely discard. Not luck. We have got to let go of this passive hope that chance or good fortune is just going to intervene on our behalf. Waiting for luck is honestly like waiting for lightning to strike exactly where you need to start a fire. It is a terrible strategy for your life. Luck is just a concept, guys. It is definitely not a rescue plan. So here is the bedrock truth of this entire explainer. If you want a better life, you have to build it yourself. You have to step up and become the architect, the foreman, and the laborer of your own destiny. Nobody else has the blueprints to your ideal life, and honestly, even if they did, they don't have the intrinsic drive required to lay those bricks. The whole shebang is entirely on your shoulders. Moving on to Section 2, the ultimate decision. Stop making excuses. Let's see how this builds into the single pivot point that separates those who just dream from those who actually achieve. So the crucial point here is that greatness is absolutely not an accident. Every single successful person you admire, whether that's in sports, business, art, whatever, they made one deliberate, conscious decision to stop making excuses. They completely abandoned all justifications for staying stuck because they realized that an excuse, no matter how valid or rational it might sound in the moment, is still just a massive barrier keeping them from their goals. Let's look at the actual actionable traits of these people. They trained when they were dead tired. They worked when nobody was watching, and they stayed completely focused while everyone else was distracted. Success is built in the shadows, It's forged away from the applause and away from the validation of others. It comes from sheer, uncompromising discipline when you are exhausted and alone. That is what dropping excuses actually looks like in practice. Section 3, the daily grind, day-to-day actions. We're going to transition now into what this uncompromising ownership actually looks like on a microscopic, day-to-day level. I really want you to focus deeply on this stark contrast. Your future doesn't care how you feel today. It only cares about what you do today. And look, your emotions are completely valid as a human experience, but they are entirely irrelevant to the objective reality of progress. The future is built on the cold, hard math of your actions. If you just wait around to feel motivated to do the work, well, your future is going to look exactly like your present. So how do you execute? We call it the mechanics of momentum. It's not about leaping to the top of the mountain in a single bound. It's literally one workout. It's one book. It's one small step. The source material is proving to us that monumental, life-altering change is really just a series of microscopic, manageable actions executed one right after the other. It's highly practical. But here is the catch, and the source material does not let us off the hook here. Every single day. That's how champions are made. Sporadic effort yields absolutely nothing. You can't just put in one day of intense work and expect your entire life to transform, right? It is the relentless frequency, that daily consistency, that actually forges champions. It's all about not breaking the chain. Section 4. The perfect moment myth. Myth of perfection. Now, we really need to destroy the ultimate psychological trap that keeps highly intelligent, capable people in a perpetual state of waiting. Are you waiting for the perfect moment? Seriously, think about your own life right now. What are you putting off? Are you telling yourself you'll start when things calm down at work, or maybe when the kids are older, or when the economy shifts? We use this pursuit of the quote-unquote perfect moment as a highly sophisticated disguise for our own procrastination and fear. Well, it doesn't exist. Just let that sink in for a second. The perfect moment will never, ever arrive. The stars are not going to align perfectly, the risk is never going to drop to absolute zero, and you are never going to feel 100% ready. This illusion that conditions will eventually be flawless enough for you to begin, that is exactly what keeps people stuck for an entire lifetime. The source material gives us the only logical alternative here. The best time to change your life is right now. Not tomorrow morning, not on Monday, right now. We have got to translate the destruction of that perfect moment myth into a real demand for immediate, enthusiastic execution. Urgency is absolutely your best friend when it comes to personal transformation. Section 5. Become your own hero. Undeniable action. We have officially arrived at the climax of our explainer, where passive realization has to fundamentally transform into aggressive, undeniable action. Consider this your immediate mandate. Stand up, take action, and prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. And notice it says prove it to yourself, not to the internet, not to your friends, but to you. You have to build undeniable proof through physical action that you are the one in the driver's seat. It is time to stop watching, stop waiting, and start doing. And that brings us to the final, incredibly powerful directive of our source material. Nobody is coming. Become your own hero. You already have everything you need right now to start building the life you want. It's tough, it's uncompromising, but man, it's also incredibly liberating. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one thought. The hero's journey starts today. So, what will your first step be?